Good morning, everyone. It is quite natural that the vast country like India should have a great diversity in its relief features, and being an Indian, it is quite natural to have much more knowledge about the physiographic division of India. So, here I begin my class with a new chapter. The name of a chapter is Relief Features or the Physiographic Division of India. So, the physiographic diversity of India embraces with the lofty Yangfol mountain in the north, the fertile plain which lies at the southern part of the Yangfol mountain, the oldest plateau of the world, and the two group of islands with their own unique personalities. So the relief features of India, it is divided into 5 categories. The first we have the Himalayan mountain complex, or it is also known as the northern mountain of India, which consists of Yangfol mountain. Second, we have the Indus-Ganga-Brahmaputra plains, which lies at the southern part of the northern mountain. It is also known as Indo-Gangetic plains. Third, we have the Peninsular Plateau. The base of this Peninsular Plateau lies at the southern part of the northern plain, and the apex lies at the Kanyakumari in the south. Then we have the coastal plains, a narrow strip of lands that lies at the edges of the peninsula. It is known as the coastal plains of India. It is divided into 2 categories. It is divided into 2 parts, eastern coastal plains and western. The coastal plains of India, a narrow strip of land that lies at the edges of the Peninsular Plateau. Then we have, and the last we have the islands, 2 group of islands with their own unique personality. So these are the 5 relief features of India. So let us go through it one by one. Now let us discuss in detail about the first relief features of India, that is the Himalayan mountain complex. So this Himalayan mountain, it is a chain of mountain that stretches. The Himalayan mountain, it is a chain of mountain that stretches on the northern border of India in an east to west direction, covering a distance of 2,400 km, and it covers a distance of 2,400 km from Indus River in the west to Brahmaputra River in the east. The width of this Himalaya is 160 km to 400 km. In fact, this Himalaya is not just one range of mountain, but it is a 3 range of mountain which runs parallel to one another along its longitudinal axis. So this Himalaya is divided into 3 ranges according to their altitude. So the first division of this Himalaya, it is known as the Greater Himalaya. The Greater Himalaya. Second, it is known as the Lesser or the Middle Himalaya, and the third one, it is known as the Outer Himalaya. The first one, it is known as the Greater Himalaya. The second one, it is known as the Lesser of the Middle Himalaya. The third one, it is known as the Outer Himalaya. So let us go through it one by one. The Himalayan mountain complex, it is divided into 3 ranges of mountain according to the altitude or according to its height. The Greater Himalaya, the Lesser Himalaya, and the Outer Himalaya. The Greater Himalaya, it is the highest mountain range in the Himalaya system, covered by snow throughout the years, and generally it is referred as Himadri. The average height of this Himalaya is more than 6,000 meters, and its average width is 25 km. Most of the highest peak of the world lies in this Greater Himalaya. Sicin Glacier also situated in this Greater Himalaya. And the highest peak of the world like Mount Everest with the height of 8,848 meters, and the mountain Kanchenjunga with the height of 8,598 meters lies in this region. And some of the other mountain range like Makalu, Dhaulagiri, Naga Parbat are located in this Greater Himalaya. The second division of this Himalaya is the Lesser Himalaya or the Middle Himalaya. It is located to the south of the Greater Himalaya. Remember students, our northern mountain range of India, it is in arc shape, which is stretching from Indus River in the west to Brahmaputra River in the east. So the Greater Himalaya, it is in arc shape. To the southern part of the Greater Himalaya, we have the Lesser or the Middle Himalaya. It is located to the southern part of the Greater Himalaya and runs parallel to east-west direction like that of the Greater Himalaya. It is also runs parallel to east-west direction. Its average altitude is 3,700 meter to 4,500 meter. That means the height of the mountain that lies in the Lesser or the Middle Himalaya is 3,700 meter to 4,500 meter, and the average width of this Himalaya is 80 kilometer. That means the height is 3,700 meter to 4,500 meter and the width is only 80 kilometer, whereas the width of the Greater Himalaya was 25 kilometer and the height of this Himalaya was more than 6,000 meter. So important branches of this Lesser Himalaya, it is Pirpanjal or Dhauladhar. In between the Greater Himalaya and the Lesser Himalaya, in there lies a longitudinal valley. Kashmir Valley and the Kathmandu Valley, it is one of the best example that I can give you, the longitudinal valley that lies between the Lesser Himalayas and the Greater Himalayas. Most of the hilly resort like Darjeeling, Simla, Mussoorie falls on this Lesser or the Middle Himalaya. So this was about the Greater and the Lesser Himalaya. Now let us have a look on the Outer Himalaya. The Outer Himalaya, it is the southernmost range of the Himalaya. Now the Outer Himalaya, it is the southernmost range of the Himalayan mountain complex, with the height of 900 to 1200 meter, and the height of this Outer Himalaya is 900 to 1200 meter, and the width of this Outer Himalaya is 10 to 50 kilometer. The width of this Greater Himalaya, the width of the Greater Himalaya was 25 kilometer. The width of the Lesser Himalaya was 80 kilometer, and the width of the Outer Himalaya or Shivalik range, it is only 10 to 50 kilometer. In between Lesser Himalayas and Outer Himalayas. Now, in between the Lesser Himalayas, it is Lesser Himalayas and Outer Himalayas. In between the Lesser Himalayas and Outer Himalaya, in between the Lesser Himalaya and Outer Himalaya, there are longitudinal valley known as, in between the Lesser Himalaya and Outer Himalaya, there lies a longitudinal valley which are known as dunes in the west. Dehradun, it is one of the example, and Doors in the east. The best example of Doors that I can give you is our place Jaigaon, Hasimara, Kalchini, all this area falls in the Doors area. The Himalayan mountain complex, it is divided into 4 divisions or 4 sections, or we can also say the regional division of Himalayas. It is divided into 4 sections. The first, it is Punjab Himalayas. Second, we have the Kumaon Himalayas. Third, we have the Nepal Himalayas. And fourth, we have the Assam Himalayas. So let us go through the 4 regional division of the Himalayas. So the first we have the Punjab Himalayas. It is the section between the Indus and the Satluj river. So a section between the Indus and the Satluj river, it is known as the Punjab Himalayas. It is also called Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Himalayas. That means it is also called as the Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Himalayas because most of this section is located in this two states. Why they are known as the Himalayas of Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal? Because this section of Himalayas falls in these two states and cover the distance of 560 kilometers, and the length of this Himalaya is 560 kilometers. Some of the example of this Himalaya that falls in Punjab Himalayas, it is Ladakh, Pir Panjal, Jaskar, Dholadhar are some of the example of the Punjab Himalayas. The second section of this regional division of Himalayas, it is known as the Kumaon Himalayas. This section falls between the Satluj and the Kali river. So this section of Himalayas, Kumaon Himalayas, falls between the Satluj and the Kali rivers and cover a distance of 230 kilometers. Great rivers like Ganga and Yamuna have source in this Himalayas. So great rivers like Ganga and Yamuna have source in this Himalayas. That means the source of the river Ganga and Yamuna, it is the Kumaon Himalayas. Now let us discuss about the third section of the regional division of Himalayas. It is the Nepal Himalayas. This section of Himalayas lies between the Tista river and the river Kali. It falls between the river Kali and the river Tista and cover a distance of 800 kilometers. Most of it is located in Nepal, hence it is named after Nepal. This is the highest part of the Himalayas where lofty mountain peaks like Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, Dhaulagiri, Annapurna are located. Now let us move on to the fourth regional division of Himalayas, that is the Assam Himalayas. It is the Himalayas which lies between the river Tista and Digham. It extends to a distance of 720 kilometers. We don't have any highest peak in this region. So these were the four regional divisions of Himalayas. The first, the Punjab Himalayas. It lies between the river Indus and Satluj. Second, we have the Kumaon Himalayas. It lies between the river Satluj and river Kali. The third, we have the Nepal Himalayas. It lies between the river Kali and Tista. And fourth, we have the Assam Himalayas. It lies between the river Tista and Digham. The Himalayas play a very significant role in influencing the climate of India by the virtue of its great height, length and direction. This Himalayas does not allow the monsoon wind of Arabian Sea branch and Bay of Bengal branch, which is a moisture laden wind, does not allow this Himalaya does not allow to cross this Himalaya does not allow monsoon wind to cross this region and shower or rainfall in the central and the northeastern region of India. Not only that, during the time of winter season, the wind, because of its great height, length and direction, it does not allow the cold wind of Arctic region to enter India and thus save India from the severe cold wind. So in this way, it influences the climate of India. The second significance of the Himalayas, it is defense. This Himalayas is protecting India from the foreign invader. Since early time, thus serving as a defense barrier. But the Chinese aggression in October 1962 has decreased the defense significance. In spite of the advancement in the modern technology in defense, the significance of the Himalayas cannot be ignored. The third significance of the Himalayas, it is a source of a river. Almost all the great rivers of India have their source in the Himalayas ranges. So during the time of summer season, snow melt and provide water to the great rivers of India and make them a perennial river. The fourth significance of the Himalayas, it provides India with a huge amount of fertile soil. The great rivers of India and their tributaries carries enormous quantities of alluvial soil while descending from the Himalayas. And this alluvial soil is deposited in the northern plain of India, making the northern plain of India as one of the most fertile region of the world. Now, fifth significance that we have, it is hydroelectricity. Hydroelectricity. The Himalayan region offers several sites that can be used for generating hydroelectricity. The natural waterfall at a certain places and the dams can be constructed across the river to generate the electricity. So the fifth significance, it generates hydroelectricity. So the sixth, forest wealth. The sixth significance we have, it is forest wealth. The Himalaya of India provide India with a huge amount of fuel wood and timber, and it also supply raw material to the industrial base industry. Besides this, many patches of land can be used for grazing of animal, and the Himalayas, the forest of the Himalayas also provide India with a huge amount of medicinal plants. The seventh significance, it is tourism. Tourism, by virtue of their scenic beauty, of Himalayas and the clean environment, attract the people of the different region of India towards the Himalaya region of India and support a tourist industry. The people from the plain of India move towards this region during the time of summer season to escape themselves from the scorching heat of the plains. So these are the significance of the Himalayas. This figure show a diagrammatic representation of the Himalayan mountain complex, which start from the Indo-Gangetic plain, the southern part of the mountain, and at the Kunlun slopes. In board exam, the question may be asked on this figure. So please go through it very carefully. So this makes the end of the first relief features of India. There are some more relief features of India we will discuss in the next class. Till then, stay home, stay safe, take care.